Good evening, baseball fans. Welcome to Ironman Field for Game 5 of the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League semifinals between your Chatham Miramichi Ironmen and the visiting Saint John Alpines. The Ironmen come into tonight with a 3-game-to-1 series lead, looking to punch their ticket to the NBSBL Finals to take on the two-time defending champion Charlottetown Islanders. The Saint John Alpines looking to extend the series to a Game 6, which would be Wednesday night, 8 p.m. at Memorial Field. I am, of course, Chris Jardine, voice of the Chatham Miramichi Ironmen, alongside best color man in the business, Jake Dignam. And Jake, we said at the end of the Game 3 broadcast, when the Ironmen took a 3-0 lead, that the Alpines were going to have to take it one game at a time, try to claw their way back in the series. And boys, oh boys, did they ever do the job Saturday night down in Saint John with a 20-3 thrashing of the Ironmen to pull back to 3-1.
Yeah, no kidding. Welcome back, everybody, to Ironman Baseball here, presented by O'Donaghues. Yeah, that was just a big inning. I believe they scored 13 runs in the second inning, and as we've been talking about, Chris, this entire series, the Saint John offense is very potent, and they went ahead and showed that on what night was that?
Saturday. Yep.
So obviously, get back into the series, the bats are going to have to continue to work like that, and St. John starter Ryan Scott's going to have to be around the zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know what? We've seen some themes emerging here in the series. Obviously, you know, the first two games, the St. John bats were kind of dormant. Game 3, you know, we seen them start to hit the ball, kind of beat it around a little bit. Obviously, some miscues in the field, miscues on the base paths helped the Ironmen escape with that Game 3 win. But the bats came alive in a big way down in St. John, and now they will have to try to carry that forward as for the third time in this series. And the second start, we will see Julio Hernandez import for the Ironmen, and we will see again, as Jake mentioned, Ryan Scott for the Alpines. Home plate umpires are out. We have a 4-man crew here tonight for the first time that we've seen them here in this series. And again, you know what? Obviously, the keys for the Ironmen kind of remain the same, right? Have good at bats, make Ryan Scott work, try to get into that bullpen. Obviously, Ryan Scott doesn't have a whole ton of innings pitched in the regular season, but he is averaging about a walk per inning, which, again, the Ironmen have sort of taken advantage of in this series. A lot of free passes. So, again, if you're the Ironmen, obviously this is it's not a must-win game, but it is about as close to a must-win game as it could be, because the last thing you want to do is have to go back to Saint John.
Yeah, absolutely. The ultimate goal is to finish tonight on home turf if you're the Ironmen. That'd be an awful long bus ride to go back to St. John for Game 6, and then you know, you never know what happens there, and then it comes back here for a Game 7, and that's a roll of the dice. So the Ironmen looking to obviously get it done tonight, sending Julio Hernandez, their ace, back to the mound. This will be his second start of the series, as you said, and kind of like we said in the first game, gonna have to be around the zone, first pitch strikes, and keep those St. John bats kind of at bay a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. Here's a look at the lineup St. John sending up here tonight. Looks very, very similar to the lineup we saw here in Game 3. Connor Hill playing second base, batting leadoff. Adam Clark is hitting second and playing short. Ryan Scott, the pitcher, hitting for himself in the 3 spot. Ennis Hayden going to bat fourth. He's had a very good series at the plate, playing right field. Mark Legier handling the catching duties tonight, batting fifth. Matt Beach playing center field, batting sixth. Hayden Dow playing left field, batting seventh. Chase Blucher, the affiliate, who has had a very impressive series. First time I've seen him this series, he has been very impressive on both the defense and the offensive side. He's playing third and batting eighth, and Ryan Galbraith is playing first tonight. And again, they will take on Julio Hernandez, who is making his third appearance of the series, his second start. He has thrown 9 innings in the series to a 5.44 ERA, had picked up a win in Game 1, has faced 42 batters, allowed 14 hits and 8 runs. We're just getting the last bit of the that's right. That is the key. Trust the process. Enjoy life. We'll be back with first pitch after the national anthem. So here we go, folks. We finish the national anthems and get ready to go here. Let me open up my text messages from Mr. Green. Umpiring crew for tonight: Luke Obe calling balls and strikes behind the plate. Manu Crevier is going to be over at first. Mike Doucette at second, and Craig Hope at third. Again, first time we have seen a four-man umpiring system, four-person umpiring system.
There you go.
Here in the playoffs. Again, obviously, as we get deeper in the playoffs, we'll probably be four-person systems from here on out. And here come the Ironmen to take the field, led by starting pitcher Julio Hernandez. Let's take a look at the defense that will line up behind Hernandez. Jake Cook is in left field. Mike McKay is in center. Zach Goss in right. Logan Walsh at third. Chris Keating at short. Chris Keating did not play Saturday down in Saint John, again, battling through some nagging injuries. Our understanding is that he is day-to-day, but he's out there to start the game at short. Charlie Mollison at second. Nick Leggett at first. Jeff Watkin behind the plate. And again, I think, Dig, we're going to get a really good feel early here for what kind of game this is going to be. I think both Hernandez and Scott need to have a good first inning.
Yeah, the momentum builds obviously so much better for your team if you're able to get those first three hitters out in either lineup. And Julio kind of sets the tone here for the Ironman if he comes out and goes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we have seen Scott on a couple of relief occasions here at Ironman. Again, I remember one game in particular, he came in a bit of a sticky situation, battled some control problems. Again, we'll have a little more in terms of his regular season numbers as the game moves on. But the Alpines, by virtue of being the visiting team, going to get first crack here. And again, the one thing, obviously Julio pitched very well in game one, came in game three, was able to lock it down, but did give up a 3-pack of runs.
Yep.
Obviously there is some familiarity potentially growing here. So we will see, again, as we have said, these teams trying to play chess against one another. As the Ironmen are 1 win away from heading to the finals, the Alpines are 1 win away from Game 6 Wednesday night. So here we go as Connor Hill steps in to lead it off. Here comes the first pitch from Hernandez, and it is outside for ball 1. Hill 4 for 14 in the series, couple of singles, couple of doubles, 286 average.
And this being the third time that the Alpines are going to see Julio, the advantage starts to kind of tip towards a hitter. Obviously, the more you see a guy's repertoire, you're going to be able to kind of identify pitches and be able to make swing decisions a little easier. And
Julio goes slider here to start. That one down the middle for a strike. We have a 1-1 count. Here it comes. That is a one bouncer to third. Walsh, who was playing in, tosses across the diamond, and the first out of the game is recorded on a 5-3. I'll bring up Adam Clark. Clark and Hill have flip-flopped between second and short here in the series. Clark played second here back in Game 3. Game 4 down in Saint John. He played short, I do believe, playing short here tonight. So, again, just trying to get the best possible defensive alignment out of the Alpines. Clark stepping in here. He's hit 2 for 10 in the series. A couple of singles. He does have 4 runs scored. And there's a slider there for a strike. The 0-1 here. Hit from Hernandez, and that is lined into right. In comes Zach Goss, and he will not make the play as that one continued to sink, and that will fall in. Goss, I think off the bat, I thought that was going to be deeper as well. So I think Goss kind of froze up, maybe thinking that was going to be back a bit further. But that one dies and lands in front of him. Official scoring is a base hit. So the Alpines have a runner on with 1 out here in the top of the first inning.
And it looks like Goss may have lost that ball just for a second in the lights, and then it was almost too late to dive and attempt. So just knock it down with the glove and
absolutely
and move on.
Absolutely. And Scott bounds that one foul. Ryan Scott has had a heck of a series at the dish. He's 6 for 13, which is a 462 average. Couple singles, couple doubles, a triple, and a homer, along with 7 runs scored. and has a chance to help his cause here in the top of the first. Well, the runner at first and one out. Clark, no stranger to a stolen base as well. Pretty conservative lead over there at first, not going, and that is a fastball down. Evens the count at 1-1. Crowd continuing to file in here at Ironman Field for Game 5. Clark with a conservative lead still, and there's a swing and a miss. That fastball had a little bit of more run than we're used to seeing from Hernandez. That might have even had enough run. I might even call that splitter. Hard to say.
I was going to say
that came way in under the hands of Scott there. He swings through it for strike 2. So the 1-2. There's a check swing foul down the first baseline. Scott stays alive. I think he was definitely looking fastball there and was able to kind of emergency poke that foul. Stay in the count 1-2. Sorry, Dig, go ahead.
No, just saying if you're Hernandez and Watkin, you can read that swing and see, okay, he's sitting fastball. Kind of expand the zone, or you can go back down inside.
Yep. The 1-2, and that is a grounder to third, and that'll be foul. And again, we have seen Scott have a great series at the plate. Started the first couple of games batting in the 5-6 spot in the lineup. And again, when the Alpines came here for Game 3, they flipped the lineup and have a similar lineup here tonight. Scott moved up to the 3 spot and has paid dividends as his Game 3 and 4 performances have been electric at the plate. Here comes another 1-2, and there's a slider outside. Great take there from Scott. That runs the count now to 2-2. See if the Alpines get anything going with Clark over at first base. Good movement pitch here, 2-2. Hernandez probably not looking to go full count here with Ennis Hayden on deck. And there's a foul ball at the plate.
Good battle here by Scott to stay alive. Julio throwing a couple good pitches, and he's just able to get a piece.
Yeah, Scott's seeing it well. Fouling off the tough ones here. Try to get Julio to make a mistake. So we're going to get another 2-2 here. Julio rocks and fires. Clark is going, and that is a liner into right field. Clark had turned around, kind of started and stopped, and then I started back to first, and that's a liner into right field. So back-to-back base hits. Alpines have 2 on with nobody out here in the top of the first. And that'll bring up Ennis Hayden, the dangerous Ennis Hayden. 3 for 8 in the series. He does have a home run, 5 runs scored, good for 375. That home run came off of Julio Hernandez here in Game 1 a week ago today. And that is hit high in the air to left. Jake Cook is tracking it. He's under it and makes the play. Clark will bluff a start, but not going. So that is a huge out there as Hayden was looking to deposit that one into the Willie Jardine field and got under it.
Yeah, same pitch we saw him hit out last Monday, a slider first pitch, and he fortunately was underneath it just a hair, and we got second out here in the top of the first.
So that'll bring up the Alpines catcher, Mark Legier. Legier has split his time between catching and designated hitting in the series. Catching tonight, Ryan Van Snick not in the lineup here tonight for the Alpines. 4 for 12, good for 333. Does have a couple of extra base hits, couple of runs scored, and a chance to put the Alpines on the board here with 2 out in the top of the first. And is with a look out to second. And the pitch, and that is a slider away for a ball. And Julio seems to be a little more reliant on the off-speed. So again, small sample size.
Yeah, early in the game, yep.
12, 13 pitches so far, but a lot of sliders here early. And there's another one, and a swing and a miss there by Legier. That'll even the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the first. The Alpines have runners at first and second. And this is the one he wants, and here it comes another slider, and that is called outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Good hitters count here.
And it was Legier who provided the 2-run double in the first inning the last time the Alpines played here.
And that is hit hard down the third baseline, but just foul. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the first. Alpines have a couple on after back-to-back singles by Adam Clark and Ryan Scott. Julio has the one he wants now. Long look out to second. Here comes the pitch. That is in the dirt. Nice block by Jeff Watkin. That's going to run it full here. Adam Clark. Some instructions, just letting Ryan Scott know, hey, make sure he goes to the plate here. Full count, 2-out situation. Runners will be on the move. Big crucial pitch here in the top of the first inning. Hernandez has the one he wants. Comes set, rocks, and fires, and that is hit back up the middle. Hernandez got a piece of it, but that's going to go into center field, and Scott will come in to score, or Clark, will come in to score, and the Alpines take the lead. It's 1-0. That's just a situation where Legier, in a full count situation, 2 strikes, puts the bat on the ball. Hernandez tried to make a kind of a behind-the-back windmill play, got a piece of it, but not enough to be able to knock it down, and that's going to be an RBI single for Legier. That's going to bring out Jeff Watkin for the second time to the mound here in the top of the first inning.
Good swing by Legier just to get bat on ball there, and I think even if that ball gets through, that run's scoring anyway. Julio kind of slowed it up, really didn't give Mike a chance.
Well, runners going in that situation,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Full count, 2 out. So that'll bring up Matt Beach, 2 for 14 in the series, 143. Has struggled, but I'll tell you what, very good hitter. Jake and I watched him take batting practice before the game there and finished off his set with a couple of very hard hit balls. See if he can translate that into the game here. That's a slider in the dirt. So again, Julio really going to that slider, especially. I think that's a first pitch slider to just about everybody.
Yeah, I would say that he's staying away from the fastball currently.
Yeah, maybe just setting them up for the second time through the order. A little gamesmanship, perhaps. The 1-0. That's another slider, and now it's 2-0. Again, Julio, we didn't have the pitch count on, but he probably threw a good 40-some pitches here on Friday.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, every bit of 40. So
now, Friday, according to our reconnaissance after the game, here comes the 2-0, and that is down for ball 3. Squirts away from Watkin, but not enough for Scott to move up. Based on our reconnaissance, Friday would have been his throw day. So really just got them throws in on the mound.
Yeah, no, true enough.
So,
obviously a little more intensity, and there may be a little bit of, additional stretching and a couple extra throws to get loose
in
tonight.
There for a strike. Yep. And that's the thing. And we'll see again. And you know what? Obviously, fatigue plays a factor this time of year, right? It's all hands on deck. 17 degrees here at first pitch. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2, and Beach way late on that one. So another full count 2-out pitch here in the top of the first. Runners will once again be on the move. Another 3-2-2. There's a foul, and that one's fouled back, and I think Beach might have been looking for
catcher's interference.
I think he was thinking that might have been some catcher's interference there. I definitely heard something, but you never know. Obviously, the velocity of that pitch coming in could be just about anything. Either way, we're going to get another 3-2. And that is high ball 4. So Julio has walked it full here. That'll bring Hayden Dow to the dish. Again, we talked, and what's going to happen here, and I think we're going to get some equipment problems as Julio looks to be going for another glove here. And I think maybe he might have suffered some glove damage when he did that backhand on the single by Mark Legier. Either way, we're going to get have a small little delay here as Julio tries to fetch a new mitt. And there comes the substitute glove. So obviously some damage suffered to his original glove. Again, probably, like I said, on that play where the ball was hit back up the middle by Legier and he kind of swung it around. It looked like it caught the back of the glove. So potential that he busted a lace. Anyway, bases loaded here for Hayden Dow. Dow 2 for 7 in the series. Both of his hits have been singles. That's in there for strike one. And again, Jake, we talked about, you know what? It was going to be crucial for both teams to get off to a fast start. And I'll tell you what, this is a critical moment here early in the ballgame.
Yeah, this is a big-time moment, like you said.
That is lined into left as Cook moves over, and he will make the play. So the Alpines do get one, but they strand. The bases loaded. So a half inning in the books. It is the Alpines 1 and the Ironmen coming to the plate here. Game 5 of the NBSBL Semi-Final between your Chatham Miramichi Ironmen and the Saint John Alpines. So we go to the bottom of the first inning here. Let's take a look at the Ironman lineup, which should seem very familiar. Mike McKay in the leadoff spot, followed by Chris Keating, Nick Leggett, and Jeff Watkin. Jake Cook in the 5-hole. Charlie Mollison in the 6th. Tyler McKay handling designated hitting duties tonight, batting 7th. Logan Walsh hitting 8th, and Zach Goss hitting 9th. It is a familiar lineup that we have seen all throughout the series. And again, the Ironmen have to get the bats going a little bit. A team that hit close to 320 in the regular season, hitting 242 here in the series. They have had some struggles, especially early in the ball game, Dig.
Yeah, I believe the top of the lineup the first 2 times through against Galbraith was 0 for 6 combined. So definitely looking for a better start tonight. And as you look down the Ironman statistics page, you see Nick Leggett and Charlie Mollison and Tyler McKay as 3 guys that need to get it going that were key contributors in the regular season for this offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And we take a look at Ryan Scott warming up again. First appearance of the series. He did make 6 appearances in the regular season, throwing 11 innings. He allowed 16 hits, 13 runs, and 10 walks in 15 Ks. So he does have electric stuff, high strikeout potential. But again, 10 walks in 11 innings. So obviously has the potential to be a bit wild as well. The lights are bright here. The Alpine season is on the line. And they turn the ball over to Scott, who has had a fantastic series at the plate. And we'll try to transition that to a fantastic series on the mound, as Mike McKay is going to step in. He's 4 for 13 in the series with 3 runs scored. And the first pitch is a fastball in there for a strike. Here comes the 0-1, and that is a swing and a miss at a high fastball by McKay, strike 2. And again, Scott does have really good stuff. It's just making sure he keeps it around the zone, stays ahead of these hitters, and he's ahead of Mike McKay 0-2. And that is hit hard and out of play foul.
Good swing by Mike to stay alive there. Scott featuring some top end velocity so far with those first 3 for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember, again, a couple times I've seen him, I've been very impressed with the liveliness of the arm. Another 0-2 here. And that is hit hard into right field, and that's going to be caught by Connor Hill. So McKay lines out L4 to start the Ironman slate of outs. And it'll be Chris Keating. Keating is 1 for 5 in the series with 3 runs scored. Again, has been battling a variety of ailments. And in the 2-hole here tonight, Ironman would love for him to have a big game here tonight. That is right there for strike 1. Fastball at the knees on the inner half. God has the one he wants. Here comes the 0-1. That is in the dirt. Oh, and that's going to bounce up over Keats' head. Again, we will see. One of the themes in this series has been Alpines and their pitchers with them lively sliders in the dirt. The Ironmen have been able to take advantage of that We'll see if that comes in again. Scott does have that lively slider as well. The 1-1 here, and that is down and inside for a ball. Again, everything on the line here. The Alpines trying to stay alive here tonight and force a Game 6 Wednesday night at Memorial Field in Saint John at 8 p.m. The 2-1, and that is called a strike. Might have been just a hair inside, but that'll run at 2-2. Here it comes. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Keating goes down, and it's a quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. So that'll bring up Nick Leggett. Leggett 2 for 14 in the series. Couple of singles, 3 runs scored. Again, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Ironmen. Have to get going here if they're going to be successful tonight. First pitch from Scott, and that is right down Broadway for a strike. Here comes the 0-1. And that's a fastball at the knees on the outer half. Scott looking great here in this first inning. Locating his fastball very well, and he's ahead of Leggett here 0-2. And here it comes. And that is foul down the third baseline. And again, that was a bit of a miss there as Scott was trying to go away. Lagier was set up away, and that one trailed inside, and you could see Scott kind of tap his chest. That was on me. He kind of missed a spot there. But still way ahead here as it's 0-2. Has the one he wants here. And that is a slider right there for strike 3. So the Ironmen go in order in the top or the bottom of the first as Scott strikes out 2. And after an inning, it is the Saint John Alpines 1. Your Chatham Miramichi Ironmen, no score. Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Our beautiful back patio is open and dogs are welcome. We even have a special O'Don's Irish Pup menu for your furry friend. Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. So we go to the top of the second inning. If you go back to our keys of the game and getting off to a hot start, advantage Alpines. As they scored a run in the top of the first, loaded up the bases. They made Hernandez work, and then Scott comes out, dices the Ironman in the bottom of the first, induces a line out and then a couple of strikeouts. So Hernandez back out for his second inning of work here, and will face the 8-9-1 hitters. Chase Blucher, the junior affiliate here, to lead it off. That's a fastball in there for a strike. Blucher's had a great series, 3 for 8, has a home run, 3 runs scored. First time, again, this series, first time I've seen him, I have been impressed with how he's handled himself. He's had some really good at-bats. Here comes the 0-1 from Hernandez. And that is a slider in there for strike 2. Again, by the looks of things, Luke Obey going to have a bit of a wider strike zone than we've seen at other points in the series. The 0-2. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. First strikeout of the ball game for Hernandez. And that is a great way to come back after a rocky first. With a 3-pitch strikeout. Ryan Galbraith's going to step in here. 3 for 9 in the series. 4 runs scored. And he bats here. 1 out. There's a slider for a strike.
And if Julio can locate that pitch right there, Chris, he's going to have success tonight.
Yep.
In the first inning, he seemed to be pulling a little glove side into the other batter's box, but if he's able to land that one, tried another one there.
Well, and the difference between the first one and the second one just there is the first one seemed to have a little more verticality to it.
Yeah.
Right? Which means it's coming out of the hand just a little bit slower, a little bit less pull, right? And you're getting a little more vertical drop on it, but seem to be able to locate a little bit better, almost more like a curveball than a slider. So 1-1, here's the count. Galbraith. And that's a fastball on the outer half for strike 2. Galbraith saying that's up. Home plate umpire Luke Obey did not think so. We have seen those fringy high ones called strikes the whole first inning as well. And there is a grounder out to Keating. Plays it on the short hop and over to first for out number 2. So a 6-3 and quickly 2 outs here in the top of the second. And that'll turn the lineup back over for Connor Hill. Hill grounded out to third his first time. Hope you guys are all having a great night out there. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, thank you so much for coming by. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Thank you for supporting O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball live all season long. Appreciate all of our viewers out there in internet land. 0-1's account here. And we're going to get times here. Also appreciate the guys doing the rest of the streaming around the league. The Saint John stream, I have enjoyed watching it over on x.com/SJ Alpines. And that is hit high in the air to center. McKay drifting back. And we'll make the play for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 as Hernandez comes back out and rebounds, an inning and a half in the books. It is the Alpines 1, the Ironmen no score on O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. Thank you so much, Ron, watching on YouTube. We appreciate all the other teams stream as well. I always enjoy tuning into Chuck's Great Islander stream. Again, the Saint John has been live on X. We had some great action. Shout out to Corey Kavanaugh, former NBSBL player, for doing some great streaming work down from Royals Field. Again, we thank everybody who supports our stream, and we do what we can to support the other team's streams. Again, I enjoy being able to keep tabs on the other teams. And we go to the bottom of the second here. It's going to be Jeff Watkin to lead it off. Alpines lead 1-0. Watkin in the series. 3 for 8. Extra base hit. And 6 runs scored. I had to look at that twice. Jeff has scored 6 of the Ironman 25 runs in this series so far.
No stranger to taking a walk, Jeff.
Is he not? No, he's not, eh?
No, never.
No. Dynamite drop in there, Jake.
Thank you.
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
I set that one up for you real good, pal. Appreciate it. You're the 1-0. There's a slider in there for a strike. Jeff probably wishing he took a rip at that one, as that was kind of an inner half floater. Jeff with that big open stance locks in here. And that is another Slider. I have to find it. It honestly looks more like a curveball than a slider, but
What's the same thing you said last inning with Julio? One could be a curveball, one could
yeah.
be a slider. We don't
It
really.
just all depends. All depends wrist angle, the kind of velocity you throw it with, right? So we could just go to call them breaking ball, and then we got it all covered. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Watkin. Scott coming off of back-to-back strikeouts. And that is high. Trying to test the limits of the upper half of the strike zone there from home plate umpire Luke Ove, and doesn't get the call there. So it'll be 2-2. Jake Cook and Charlie Mawson, the other scheduled hitters here in the second for the Ironmen. That ball is popped up in the infield. Legier doesn't see it. He's on it now, and he drops it. Again, Legier didn't see it off the bat. Ryan Scott picked it up right away, came running in. Legier calls him off, and he drops the ball. So it'll be a second life here for Jeff, as the count will remain 2-2.
I just think a little bit of confusion there at the end. Ryan Scott kind of saying, you got it,
Galbraith
you got it. And
bearing down on you too, right?
No, really
obviously,
tough play there.
Communications there. And again, especially, we talked about it earlier in the series, right? When that ball's hit up at home plate, the first thing you're looking up at is blinding lights.
Yeah.
And that's inside, and that's going to catch Watkins. So what would have been a pop out for the first out of the inning turns into the first Ironman base runner of the evening, as Watkin wears that one. Legier kind of, you can tell by his body language there, a little upset at himself. So first man on for the Ironman tonight, and it'll be Jake Cook. Jake's had a heck of a series, 4 for 11, good for a 364, couple of runs scored. Great season for Jake this year. Added over 300. And he bats here. Scott's first time from the stretch. And that is on the outside part of the plate for a strike. And again, we'll see the Ironmen have taken advantage of Mark Legier at other points in this series and in the regular season, and we'll see if they get something going here, a steal or a hit and run perhaps. And that is right there for strike 2. That looked like a cutter, something that came back over the outside part of the plate there. A couple of great pitches from Ryan Scott to quickly get ahead of Jake Cook here, 0-2. So 2 strikes. Scott comes set quickly. And that is fouled off at the plate. Watkin with kind of a delayed steal there. Didn't have much of a lead. Hard to believe that they would do a hit and run 0-2, but.
Yeah, I think Jeff may have just, like you said, maybe the delayed steal, try to catch Mark, not
fully engaged.
Exactly.
So Cook fouls it off at the dish. And remain 0-2. Scott comes set. That is outside. He tries to push the limits of the outside part of the plate there. Again, I was looking out. I was like, what in the hell is Mike Doucette doing behind second base? And then I had to remember four-man system. I was like, what is he doing? And that's no shot to Mike. I know he knows what he's doing. Just first time I've seen it all year. I was like, what's he doing out there? Oh. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Cook chases a backdoor curveball. And that'll be out number 1. Again, trying to protect there with 2 strikes. So 1 out, and the runner remains at first. First base runner of the game for the Ironmen, reaching via the hit by pitch.
And this would be a combo, Chris, I would keep an eye on with that hit and run. Charlie, a pretty good contact hitter. Jeff with enough speed that.
That's outside for ball 1. And I do agree there, Dig. We've seen it with Mawson a few other times 100%. In the season. Charlie handles the bat very well. No stranger to a bunt either. Tell you what, this would be a perfect drag bunt out towards second base situation. If you can get it by the pitcher, it's a base hit all the way with where Hill's playing. That's outside for a ball. Again, we've said it all throughout the series, right? Any way you can.
Absolutely.
Every run matters. We've seen that in this series. Every run has mattered. I mean, not so much Saturday down in Saint John, but here.
No, anything past 6 or 7 there for the.
That is a bounder towards first. Galbraith's going to go to first for 1, and that's all they're going to get. So Molson takes a hack at a 2-0 pitch there and grounds out to first. So that will move Watkin into scoring position and bring Tyler McKay to the dish. McKay 0 for 8 in the series. Was chatting with him, communicating with him at work there today. Had a good chat about Alan Jackson, who his walk-up music, Gone Country by Alan Jackson. Talked about the merits of Chattahoochee in today's society as a all-time classic tune. We'll see if he can put one way down yonder here with 2 out in the bottom of the second. That is hit up in the air. That's going to be a long run. Hat off, but Dow able to get under it and make the play. So the Ironmen get a runner on, but nothing more. And after 2 innings complete, it is the Saint John Alpines 1. Your Chatham Miramichi Ironmen no score here on O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. Ironmen Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Did you know we have happy hours 7 days a week from 3 to 6 p.m.? Come on by for a drink and a snack. We also have wing night every Thursday from 5 to 10 p.m. Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. And again, we go to the top of the third inning. Again, we want to thank everybody for out there watching. Already have eclipsed our highest viewership of the season across the 3 platforms. Thank you so much. Appreciate all our viewers. If you're watching on the Ironman YouTube page, the Ironman Facebook page, or the Twitch page, appreciate it. Special shout out to one of our loyal viewers watching from Nappin NB here tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Again, hope you guys are all having a fantastic Monday. Is it still Monday?
Seems like the longest
Okay,
Monday
fantastic
ever,
Monday evening. Not used to these playoffs, right? I'm always used to it's Thursday. So that'll bring up Adam Clark. 2-3-4 for the Alpines here in the third. They lead 1-0. Alpines 1 run on 3 hits. Ironman 0s across the board. Neither team has committed an infraction. There's a square round to bunt. That's going to be right back to Hernandez. He's going to have some time, step and throw, and that's a 1 pitch, 1 out. Clark trying to sneak one in there, but just not a great location for that bunt.
No, I was about to say the Ironman corners were in protecting against the bunt. Clark has been known to lay one down, but unfortunately a 2-hopper right back to the pitcher and an easy play for the first out of the inning.
Absolutely. That'll bring up Scott. Scott had a single back in the first. And that is a hard hit ball to third. And that takes a big hop and gets past Logan Walsh. Got to assume that's immediately scored a hit from the guys downstairs. And again, that nothing Logan Walsh could do there is it was a very hard hit ball.
An Ironman hop, as they say.
Yes, was going to be a tough play regardless as he tried to move to his left. That one takes a big hop. Walsh had already sort of committed to the dive. So that is a hard hit ball. Again, Ryan Scott continues his torrid pace in this series as that is now his 8th hit. Here's Hayden. And there's a fastball for a strike. Hayden flew out to left field on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. He tried to hit a tank. Just missed it. You go put the runner on first here. Do my job as a stream manager. There's a, yes, he did. And that'll be strike 2 as I think Hayden was looking for something on the inner half there. So it's quickly 0-2. 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Alpines lead 1-0. Hernandez has the one he wants. Here comes the 0-2 to Hayden. That is in the dirt. Hayden saw that one coming. Low and away slider.
Good sequencing by Julio since the first inning. He has been able to get ahead of most hitters here. Was ahead of all 3 last inning, I believe.
That is hit hard to third, and Walsh will make that play. And that's going to be an out. So a great play there by Walsh, and that'll be a line out for Hayden. That'll bring up Legier here with 2 out, as we're definitely not watching Trey Savage pitch for the Blue Jays here in the press box. Double duty here. So 2 out. Ryan Scott over at first. Legier had an RBI single, the only run of the game so far. That's a slider in there for strike 1. So Julio has now gotten back in the zone. Looked way better in the second than the first. Has looked good here in the third as well. Scott with a little bluff start. That's a high and tight fastball. A 1-1 strike here to the Alpines catcher. Julio trying to keep it a 1-0 ball game here. And there's his swing and a miss. Great slider there. That's one of the best ones Julio's thrown so far tonight. As that one just falls off to the side. And again, I feel like he's got that slider much more effective when it's just below the knees, right? Not necessarily in the dirt. There goes the runner, and that's a hard hit ball too short, but Keating up with it, and he'll have plenty of time with Legier running to first. So that'll do it. Some hard hit balls for the Alpines, but they get nothing out of it. 2.5 innings in the books here. The score remains. The Alpines 1, Ironmen, and no score. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Ironman trail 1-0. 8-9-1. Walsh, Goss, and then back to the top of the order. Walsh has been the Ironman's best hitter in this series. 5 for 11, good for a .455 average. 4 runs scored. 4 of his 5 hits have been for extra bases. Use a little leadoff magic from the number 14 here. Again, get the bottom of the order, turning it over for the top of the order. As Ryan Scott back out for his third inning of work. And that is a hard hit ball right back up the middle. Asking ye shall receive. And the first hit of the game for the Ironman is a screaming single back up the middle by Logan Walsh. Got to play the lotto, man. Like, honestly. There's a reason I'm 26-4 through 2 weeks of NFL pick'em.
26-4 is impressive.
It is, yeah, thank you. 15-1 in week 1, but had a bit of a stumble here.
Yeah.
Here comes Goss. Hitting .333 in the series, 3 for 9.
Wouldn't this be a good time for that bunt push towards second base?
No, and he does bunt, and that's going to get it in front of the plate, and Legere is going to let it go foul. So Goss trying to make something happen there with a bunt. So 0-1 here. Coach Kevin Bowes going through a very complex set of signs down there, which are way in over at third now still. And there's a swing and a miss, and that one caught Legere in the ankle, it would appear, and he is in some pain. Oh, no, maybe it looked like I thought it caught him in the ankle.
It got him somewhere.
Either way, Legere is doubled over in some pain, and that is extremely problematic for the Saint John Alpines. Legere, who has battled through some stuff in this series. I know they were saying he did not feel well here earlier in the series. He's battled some illness and now takes that one. Again, the first start he had here from Hayden Dow, I mean, he was a human shield back there. He must have blocked 14 or 15 balls.
Yeah, he had some bruises after that one.
Yeah, and I think I was going to say, it looks like he's...
Maybe all right. He's a warrior. He's
like
not coming out of this game.
Looked like something on the left leg.
Maybe a left side.
Yeah. He's going to take a second here, get a bit of a drink of water as the guys come out and check on him. And again, with no Ryan Van Snick in the lineup here for the Alpines tonight, I believe you'd have to see Jackson Mitchell would be the guy to come off the bench if Legere was unable to continue. But we're back in here 0-2. There's a swing and a miss, strike three. So Goss goes down on 3 pitches. The Ironmen will turn it back over to the top of the order for Mike McKay. So McKay lined out to second his first time. 1 on, 1 out here. Ironman's first hit of the ball game standing over at first in the form of Logan Walsh. Walsh going, and that is high and tight, and Legere unable to come up with it. So that'll be a stolen base for Walsh. And again, we have said the Ironmen have no problem being very aggressive on the base pass against Legere, especially after he just had to wear one there a minute ago.
Yeah, I would say the last thing he's worried about is throwing a runner out at second after taking that foul ball.
Yes, and that is a hard hit ball back up the middle. And that's going to get through. Walsh is around third, and he's going to score. And an RBI single by Mike McKay, and it's a 1-1 ball game. And again, McKay takes that one back through the box. Connor Hill with a great attempt on that one, but unable to come up with it. So an RBI single for Mike McKay. And how many times have we seen it, Dig? The bottom of the order sets the table for the top of the order. Your number 8 guy gets a base hit, steals second, and scores on a single.
Yeah, no. Logan picking up that 90 feet with his feet, able to facilitate tying this ball game here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yep. That is
I would say Mike McKay's not going to be far behind him trying to get to second base here.
I think maybe just feeling one out here. That ball was called a ball low. And a throw over to first. Scott with a quick little move over there. Again, he's not slow to the plate, but not particularly fast either. Haven't seen him use a slide step as of yet. We'll see maybe if he tries to employ that here. Again, by no means is he slow to the plate, but does have the full leg kick. McKay with a decent lead over there. And he's going. And that's in the dirt ball too. And that'll go all the way to the screen. And McKay, I think McKay might have been able to make an attempt for third there as Legere had a hard time getting that one out of his glove. It goes all the way to the screen. Again, probably not worthwhile taking the chance in that situation with Keating and Leggett coming up here. So 2-0 is the count to Keats. First base open now. And McKay's out at second. So a repeat of the situation we just saw. And that's on the outside part for a strike. Keating looking for something on the inner half there, 2-0. Now runs the count to 2-1. Ironmen have tied the ball game here in the bottom of the third. Mike McKay, RBI single. Now he's out at second. That is a fastball on the outer half for another strike.
And Scott has not been shy about throwing the fastball tonight for strikes. He is pounding the zone early and often here with it.
And we saw Logan Walsh and Mike McKay both swing at the first pitch and hit it hard. And there's a play out to second. I'll tell you what, that was dangerously close to a balk as he almost stepped towards third. I think maybe he might have caught his cleat on his pants as he was turning there and almost stepped right towards third base. So 2-2 is the count here. And there's a bounder towards short. That will move McKay up to third. A throw over to first. That's going to get away! So the Alpines defense hurts them again. Another error in this series for Adam Clark. And that will allow Mike McKay to come around to score. And it is 2-1 Ironmen.
And maybe just a peek at third base there by Adam Clark and kind of thought for a second maybe about going to third and then didn't really set his feet and come across the diamond and short hopped his first baseman Galbraith.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously going to be a tough play with Keating going down the line. You hate to beat the same drum, but that is Adam Clark's fourth error of the series. And that one results in the Ironmen being able to take the lead. And again, obviously, you know what? It very, very much going to be a tough play. Keats runs well, even though he might be a little banged up. But again, just rushing it a little bit. Galbraith unable to make the pick over there. And that is in there for a strike. And again, I wonder how much, and again, obviously speculation here, but we've seen Connor Huckins over at first base for the entire series up until this point. Obviously, Galbraith over there tonight, a bit of an upgrade with the stick in terms of the regular season performance, and that's popped up in the infield, which are under it, and he makes the play in a familiar spot from Game 3 over there just in front of third base. But again, right, how much of that is maybe not getting a whole lot of reps at first base in the series? Again, going to be a tough play anyway, but...
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, that's a tough hop for him to play. He's trying to get out there as far as he can. He's a big boy, so he's able to kind of get out there and try to get the short hop, but unable to secure it, and the Ironmen take a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yep, so Watkin comes up here now with 2 out. Keating is still the runner over at first. Keats in his going position. He's not, and that is in there for a strike. And again, I will say it, the Ironmen need to start being more aggressive earlier in the count. Scott has been just pounding fastballs for strike one to pretty much every hitter of the game so far.
Yeah, no, he definitely has a game plan to get ahead. Like you said, it's so important to get ahead 0-1 as opposed to 1-0.
And that is a hard hit ball into left field, and that's going to be a base hit. So Watkin keeps the line moving, and that'll be 2 on now with 2 out. And again, you know what? We've seen the 2 hardest hit balls that the Ironmen have had. Logan Walsh and Mike McKay, both in this inning, both first pitch fastballs. Again, we will see if the Ironmen get, and again, that would be something I would call outside of their comfort zone, because all season we have seen them take, work
a
the
very
count,
patient,
work the
a very
count.
patient team for sure. Yeah. But
And,
I
again,
would like
and
to
Scott
see,
trying to take advantage of that, just saying, hey, I'm just going to throw my best fastball for a strike.
I'd like to see Jake Cook take a rip here.
That one high and away for a ball. So as we gas him up there, he throws a ball on the first pitch there. So 2 on, 2 out here. The Ironmen have scored 2 in the inning. Jake Cook is at the dish. And that ball is hit out of play foul. And Cook mad at himself there as he got a middle fastball and just missed it. Brent, I can tell you, Dig's doing great. So he's doing great today.
We're having a great time up here.
We are. 1-1's a count here. 2 out in the bottom of the third. Scott with a look out to second. Now he's got the one he wants. Here comes the pitch, and that is high and away for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike here. Again, the Ironmen have scored 2. Chris Keating is the runner out at second. Jeff Watkins the runner over at first. And that is high and away for another ball.
And almost a flinch there by home plate.
I was going to say, Obe was thinking about that one. I still thought I heard him say strike. So 3-1 here. So Cook obviously going to get a good one to hit. Wouldn't be surprised if he takes a daddy hack here. And that is hit hard and foul. So now a full count. Runners will get the benefit of an early jump.
And 3-2 now. Cookie just looking to make contact, keep the line moving for Charlie.
Yep.
So anything through the
Touch
infield.
grass, as the children say.
Exactly. Anything through the infield with Keats' foot speed, you should be able to score 1. And if it's in the gap, Jeff coming behind hard should be able to.
The full count pitch. And there is a bouncer back up the middle. That's going to be a tough play. And they make the play. Keating comes around third. He tries to score. And he's out. So again, that ball back up the middle. A great play from Adam Clark. Keating is thrown out at home as he was going all the way in hopes that maybe they would try to make a play at first. So the Ironmen do put up 2 in the inning. And after 3 complete, they lead here in Game 5 of the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League Semi-Final by a score of 2-1 here on O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. Ironmen Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. If you are looking for a space to host an event, our upstairs area has seating for 40 for your grad party, baby shower, business meeting, or private party. What better way to host than in a Miramichi historic landmark with awesome food and drink? Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. So the Ironmen afforded no additional pitch clock time, despite their catcher being on base there, as Luke Obe hot and heavy to get it going. And Ennis Hayden making his way down to the Saint John Alpines bullpen here. Again, Dig and I were talking during one of the breaks. Scott only threw 11 innings in the regular season, so we will be interested to see how far he goes into the game here. There is a bunt out in front of the plate. Beach goes very fast, and that's a great play by Hernandez to retire Beach at first for the first out of the inning. And again, Beach trying to get something going.
That's a very tough play.
No one expected him to bunt there, and Julio makes a great play and a crossbody throw on the run. A great play there.
And that throw has such a tendency to kind of fade towards the runner there. Good job by Julio to make sure Nick had a lane to catch that ball.
Absolutely. Now here comes Dow. That is a foul ball. So here we go. 0-1 count here. 1 out in the top of the 4th. Perfect situation here for Julio to come back out after his team gives him the lead. That's high for a ball and try to shut it down. Had a rocky first inning, but a couple of zeros since. And Ennis Hayden looks like he's getting ready with, I don't want to say quickness, and that is a liner into center, and that's going to be a base hit. So Hayden Dow with a single. Again, it definitely looks like Hayden is getting ready with the purpose of coming into this game. And Dow is on here with 1 out for Blucher.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's just not up there throwing to throw. He looks like he might be coming
Well,
into
again,
this
right,
game.
we didn't know kind of, the few times I've seen Scott pitch, it's been in relief. He's only thrown 11 innings all year, so it was going to be interesting to see really how long he was going to go. Oh, and that ball. And we get times here because I watched Hayden airmail his catcher by about 5 feet, and the spotter unable to come up with it, so we get a time call there. But yeah, again, right, this is the gamesmanship that you have to play in a longer series. And that's a slider that misses inside for ball one. You don't have the luxury of a week off, right? You're trying to piece together whatever you can.
Well, and that's just it with Saint John, playing for their lives. It's all hands on
Yeah,
deck.
absolutely.
Every arm you got in the place is going to throw.
Absolutely. And there's a throw over to first. And again, credit to Ryan Scott, 2 really phenomenal innings, and then kind of let it get away from them a bit there in the third. Again, obviously his defense not helping him out. But
and we don't know for sure. He may come back out into this
absolutely.
game.
And that's a pop-out foul. And again, this is a situation as well. You have to remember, right, Hayden is the right fielder, so they don't have the luxury of warming him up in the middle of an inning. So, obviously, get his warm-ups in now, get him ready to go just in case if he's going to start the inning, come in mid-inning, whatever. Again, we shall see. The game within the game is afoot. Hayden Dow with a pretty good lead there over at first. Hernandez threw over, and that's in the dirt. Great block there by Jeff.
Really great job by Jeff there, and that right there saves you 90 feet. And it's such a different ball game with a runner on second with one out.
Absolutely.
Keeping that double play in order.
Absolutely. Again, we've seen it, right? The Ironmen's ability to pick up 90 feet here and there has, allowed them to little bloop single scores a run. Here comes the 2-1 to Blucher, and that is hit hard and deep to center. McKay did not get a very good jump on it. It's going to be over his head. They're going to get the throw in here, and we will see what they do. They will hold Dow at third. Again, McKay kind of got turned around. Don't think he got a very good read off the bat, and that is going to be a double for Chase Blucher. And there's going to be second and third here with 1 out for the Alpines here in the fourth.
Good swing by Blucher. Loud contact there, dead center.
I don't know what year of junior he is, but he has been very impressive in this series. He has impressed
played
me.
Some really good baseball.
Yeah. First time I've seen him here in this series, and I have been very impressed. He has had some of the best at bats of the Alpines players. That's in the dirt. Another great block from Jeff. So Galbraith is up here with 1 out and runners in scoring position. Again, Blucher's he's just had good at bats. He's gotten himself into some really good counts, and he has hit the ball hard. Again, that is now his. Did he ever hit his first time dig?
No,
So that's his 4th hit of the series, 2 of them for extra bases. The 1-0. And that is a boundary foul. And again, the Alpines trying to get some life going here as they have the number 9 hitter up, top of the order looming. 1-1 count here, 1 out in the top of the 4th. Runners at second and third. Dow reached on a single, Blucher on a double. And that is a strike called on the outer half. A great pitch there from Hernandez as he dots that one to Galbraith.
And when he's needed to, he seemed to go to the breaking ball tonight on the outer half. So we'll see if he stays with that.
I would say 1 and 2, you're probably going to see another one here. And they swing and a miss, strike 3 as he goes back to it. And a bit of a sword. Get me out of here.
Yeah, a little bit of a sword, as the kids call it.
Yes, a sword, yes, as the children call it, yes. So that'll be 2 out now. Frazier Hernandez on the hill for the Ironmen. Ryan Scott started and has pitched the first 3 innings for the Alpines. Not sure if he's coming back out for the 4th. They do have Ennis Hayden warmed up. There's a mighty hack from Hill there on a pitch up and in, as he might have been sitting. Second-year junior. Thanks, Scott. I'll tell you what. I've never seen him before this series, and he has been very impressive.
Like Buck Martinez says, kid looks like a ball player.
Yeah, I know. I did some research here when I seen him in the lineup for game 1. He hit 400 in junior this year for the New Brunswick Junior Baseball League champion Alpines, and he has had a great coming out party here in this series. 1-1 is the count here. 2 outs, top of the 4th, and we get a Step out here from Hill. Hill's over 2, ground out, fly out. Big situation where he could use a base hit here. And that is in, and that gets him. I'm not sure where it got him in the pad, thankfully, because that sounded heavy. He will go down to first. So now it's going to be bases loaded here for Adam Clark. And it's going to necessitate a visit from Ironman pitcher coach Terry Leggett. I'd like to take this time to thank O'Donaghues Irish Pub for sponsoring the stream yet again this year. Have enjoyed their support in all 4 years that we have had the stream going here on Ironman Baseball Live. Make sure if you're on the river, go down and check them out in the old historic Williston House. You can hear their ad reads after every complete inning. Big thanks to Jamie and Carol. Again, they've been big supporters of the stream. Even got a fish and chips delivery one time. One of the highlights of my life. Fish and chips delivery right here on the stream.
Right up to the press box.
Yeah, right up. Right, I was literally right about to start the game. Fish and chips. I just left dead air there for a bit. Just finished first year junior. Wow. He'll be second next year. So I would imagine we're going to be seeing his name with the AP next to it quite a few times next year here at Ironman Field before he finishes his couple years of junior. So here's Adam Clark, and that's in the dirt. So bases loaded here for the Alpines. They trail by 1 in the top of the 4th. Adam Clark at the plate. Trying to atone. Adam Clark, he made an error in the field that allowed the first run of the game to score for the Ironmen. Second run of the game to score for the Ironmen. My apologies. Chance to make up for it right here with a big base knock. And that is hit high in the air in the infield. Paulson under it, and he makes the play. So the Alpines threaten and they load the bases, but Hernandez gets out of it. Halfway home here at Ironman Field in Game 5 of the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League Semi-Final. It is your Chatham Miramichi Ironmen 2, the Saint John Alpines 1. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's going to be 6, 7, 8 for the Ironmen. Mollison, McKay, and Walsh. Ryan Scott is back out for his 4th inning of work. Had 2 pretty clean ones. The only issue he had in the first couple innings was a hit by pitch. Other than that, got through the first 2 innings on 7 hitters. Unfortunately, in the 3rd, he allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. A crucial error committed behind him. And nobody at second base here as Legier throws down, and that ball just bounds on into center field. So, bit of a miscommunication there.
Yeah, nobody heard the 2 call, unfortunately.
I guess not.
Heave away
little
loud here tonight at Ironman Park.
Little too electric with the heave away here in the ballpark. Again, see if Scott can get back in the zone here in the 4th. Again, the Alpines do have Ennis Hayden warmed up. Have to imagine that if Scott gets into some trouble here, we might see a pitch and change, but we shall see. Charlie Mollison going to lead it off here. And Scott had started there from the stretch, which we have not seen him do. And now he steps off, but now there we go. Just think he reset there. That's a fastball outside for ball 1. 2-1 Ironman here in the bottom of the 4th. Ironmen have 2 runs on 4 hits. Alpines 1 run on 6 hits, and they have committed an error. And that's a line drive into right by Mollison, and that's going to be a base hit. So Charlie Mollison on base, and the Ironmen have the leadoff man on here in the 4th.
And it looked like Ennis Hayden may have slipped out in right field.
Yeah,
So that we were speaking about in the first game.
Yeah, we're getting to that time of year where, listen, we've seen balls coming out of play here. The temperature's still hovering around 16, but again, it's dark. It's a bit chilly. There's a chilly breeze. And we have said, you know what, obviously moisture is going to be a factor here as we get into the fall. Here's McKay. And McKay squares the bunt and he fouls it off.
And home plate umpire just threw a ball out of play for just that reason.
Yep. So 0-1. See if McKay's bunting here again on 0-1. He's not, and runners go, and he takes strike 2. And Molson, not even an attempt at a throw there from Legier, basically just giving them the bases at this point. So 0-2 here now to McKay, and see if he can put one in play to the right side here and try to move a runner up as the Ironmen once again have a runner in scoring position and just going to let them run rough shot on the bases here, I guess. And that is high for a ball. Again, that has been something the Ironmen have all season they have been willing to do, right, is take that extra base whenever they can. There's been no shortage of that here tonight. 1-2 is the count here to McKay. And that is looped into center. That is going to be a long run for Beach and Hill. And Hill able to go back over the shoulder and make the play as McKay tried to dump something into center there, and he will be retired for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up, again, we said it his first time, the hottest Ironman hitter, Logan Walsh. He's now 6 for 12 in the series. Took a first pitch right back through the box for a line drive single his first time. Watch this. Slider in there. So there's Scott now catching on, goes to the first pitch slider. Again, maybe realizing, hey, Walsh was sitting on the fastball first time. 0-1. That's another slider in there for strike 2.
Two really good back-to-back breakers there from Scott. And now Walsh has to have a productive at bat, get that runner to third, then maybe a pass ball, get you another one here.
Yep. So 0-2, 1 out here. The Ironmen have a runner at second in the form of Charlie Mawson after a single and a stolen base. Looking away here. And that is a high fastball for ball 1. Good idea indeed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes. There's a swing and a miss. That's in the dirt. Walsh will advance to first, and Mawson will move up to third. So that is a strikeout 2-3 for the second out of the inning. Mawson advances to third on the wild pitch, I guess that would be. So runner at third here for Goss. Goss struck out on 3 pitches his first time. Try to bunt. Swing and a miss, swing and a miss. Top of the order looming yet again here for the Ironmen. Scott would love to get out of this inning right here. There's a swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Nice block there by Legier.
I think you're right, Chris. Scott has gone to the curveball much more frequently here to start hitters.
And maybe some feedback there again in that last inning. He had Walsh and McKay jump on first pitch fastballs.
Yes.
Goss, a very good first pitch fastball hitter. Very good fastball hitter in general. So again, obviously Scott trying to change it up a little bit here in the fourth to some effect. And there's a fastball that's hit out hard to second. Bouncer up for Hill, and he will make the play. So the Ironmen get one as far as third, but nothing across. So 4 complete innings in the books here from Ironman Field in Game 5 of the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League Semi-Final. It is your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironmen 2, the Saint John Alpines 1. Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Come by and try one of our new menu favorites, the Tot of the Morning, to you. mayo, lettuce, tomato, egg, bacon, cheese, and 2 tater tot rings, all on a brioche bun served with home fries. How can you pass that up? We have brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. until noon. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. So we go to the top of the 5th inning here, and it's going to be a critical part of the order for Hernandez. The 3-4-5, Ryan Scott, Ennis Hayden, and Mark Legier as the Ironman. And let me fix the camera. That's inside for ball one. Header on the little extra splash of the O'Donaghues screen there for all you watching at home. 1-0 here to Scott. And there's a bounder towards third, and that'll be foul. Oh,
Got
what a
2
play.
for 2
What a
on
play.
the night. 2 singles.
Scott's 2 for 2 on the night, putting him up to 8 for 15 now in the series. The 1-1. And that is looped into right field, and that is going to get down. And we'll see what he does here as that ball falls in front of Goss. And that'll be a base hit as Ryan Scott has done everything he has been able to help his cause, as he is now 3 for 3, and the Alpines have the leadoff man on. Hernandez has had to battle. Got out of a bases-loaded jam in the first, a bases-loaded jam in the fourth, and now the leadoff man on here in the 5th, and the dangerous Ennis Hayden at the dish. Scott, no stranger to a stolen base in this series either. And that is hit foul as Hernandez a little extra on that one.
No surprise what Hayden's trying to do either. He's trying to get the ball in the air, and
he's trying to make this a 3-2. Trying to make this a 3-2 ball game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's very capable of doing so. That's right there for strike. Wow. That is called ball 1. I would be very interested to see where that missed. And that is a hard hit ball to third, and Walsh will have to go over to first, and he will make the play. A great play by Logan Walsh. Put a star next to that one, as he had to go fetch a very, very hard hit ball down the line and makes a very strong throw across the diamond to retire Hayden for the first out of the inning. Again, no chance to get Ryan Scott there at second. Walsh very quickly realizes he has to go across the diamond, and that is a big league 5-3 from Logan Walsh.
Really nice play, and he gives Nick Leggett the long hop on the other end.
Yeah.
So easier.
Get the grassy hop.
Yeah, exactly. Easier play for your first baseman to make, and
get that grassy hop. And there's a slider on the outside part. That pitch is a good 4 inches further outside than the one he called the ball on Hayden, for those who were paying attention. But, hey, we'll move on. The 0-1. There's a half-hearted swing from Legier, and it's 0-2.
Starting Julio Hernandez and Ryan Scott, obviously.
Yeah. Hernandez here. 0-2. And that is fouled back. Oh, look out.
That ball has a dent in it.
Yes, it does. Both starting pitchers at this point still in the game. Hernandez for the Ironmen, Ryan Scott for the Alpines, standing out currently at second base, trying to help out his own cause, and he has done so valiantly, 3 for 3 at the dish. And there is a slider just down. So he tried to get Legier chasing there, 0-2.
And now you can go up and in. You can go away again. Has him set up for
Yep.
anything you want.
Yep. Another slider away here, I think. And there's a foul in front of the plate.
And Legier takes another one.
Yep, he's and that was it. What a just if okay, guys, listen, for all of you watching at home, if you are aspiring to be an umpire in your life at some point, if you cannot throw the ball back to the pitcher in a way that they can make a nice catch, do not throw the ball back to the pitcher. Give the ball to the catcher. Because there's nothing looks worse than when you underhand the ball through the legs of the pitcher. The 1-2 again, fouled off at the plate.
Yeah, I pride myself. When I throw one back, I make sure it's on a line.
I don't even take the chance. It's for me, and I mean, I played baseball for 25 years, but it's still right into the catcher's glove. I'm not taking the chance of airmailing one and then having to hear that from the Ironman faithful. 1-2 still the count. Legier battling with some foul balls here at the plate. Runner still at second. And there's a foul ball again.
Really good at bat here.
Yeah, and again, sliders seems to be the order of the day here to Legier.
I think he got him kind of leaning out over the plate now to cover that slider.
Yep.
I think a fastball in the inner half here, maybe the splitter on the
I
inner
wouldn't
half.
I wouldn't hate a splitter pretty much at the knees on the inner part of the plate here. Now we go slider again, and finally Legier misses one. And that'll be out number 2. So a big strikeout there for Hernandez, which is his third or just second? Third strikeout of the ball game. That'll bring up Matt Beach. And again, we're going to get Keats in here just, I think, because again, Scott, you'll remember, 6th inning of game 3, Ryan Scott was picked off at second base as the tying run. He does have some aggressive hops out there and a design play. We talked to the guys about it after the game. It was a design play. They set it up, said second pitch. Jeff does the drop the glove. Keats bolts in. They turn around. They had him dead to rights by 5 feet. So we'll see maybe if something's on here. That is on the outside corner for a strike. And again, Matt Beach just not having a good time at the plate in this series. Last time up, he tried to bunt, trying anything to get himself going, and he did not like that strike call. I think he might have had a case. But again, when you're fighting it at the dish and you're struggling, you said it actually, I believe in game 3, Dig. You feel like everything's going against you.
Everything's against you.
Yep.
You know, the close pitches are called strikes. You can't catch a break. You hit one hard and it's right at somebody. It's just
and he's always one pitch away from right back in it. And there's a big swing as he tried to park one here. So now 1-2 again, and Julio again, one pitch away from getting out of danger. The leadoff man reached on a single and is at second base and has gone no further. 1-2, 2 out. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Matt Beach goes down again. And that's going to do it for the Alpines in the top of the 5th as emotions are starting to run a bit high here on the field. 4.5 innings in the books. And it is your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironman 2, the Saint John Alpines 1 in Game 5 of the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League Semi-Finals, brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. So we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's going to be top of the order for the Ironmen. The Ironmen with some activity down in the bullpen as their closer, Zach Goss, is getting hot. Again, it's probably a similar situation to Ennis Hayden where Goss is in the field, same position actually, right field. So maybe just going to take some time here. He would be due up ninth this inning if it goes that far. So maybe just a situation where, hey, I'm going to take some time. It's getting a little chilly, going to loosen up. So here comes Mike McKay. Last time up had an RBI single. And that is bounded towards third. Blucher waits for the hop and a strong throw across. Oh, he throws it away! Gonna go towards second, and McKay's gonna be in there. And again, I don't know if that's gonna be E5 or E3, but a high throw from Blucher and Galbraith. And again, we kind of said it earlier, right? Not a lot of reps at first base in the series. That one goes off the tip of his glove. So that will be the second defensive error of the ballgame for the Alpines. And Mike McKay is at second base here with nobody out.
Not a guy you want on the base pass to begin with. And now with his speed at second base, a single this inning and he's scoring.
And with the 2 errors tonight, that is now 11 defensive errors that the Alpines have made in this series. They are hurting their starting pitching big time in this series. Here's Keats. That's a curveball in there for strike one. So Scott now going to have to battle around the leadoff man being on after an error. I believe it'll probably be E3, but we'll see. The 0-1. And that is a swing and a miss by Keats. And Keats just looks out of sorts up there. Again, obviously hard. You're battling some injuries. Just try to do a job here and a little grounder to second. Move that runner up to third for Nick. 0-2. McKay with a decent lead out there at second. That is high and away, and Legier have to make a stab for that one.
The other thing with Mike getting to second base on that throw is now a pass ball and you're a sac fly away as well.
Absolutely. Right? Again, extra bases. Errors and extra bases have just killed. Outside of game 4, extra bases and errors have killed the Alpines in this series in the games that they have lost. Long look out to second. Scott with the pitch. And that one high and away, and that's going to get away. So that one looked like a slider there from Scott that got away from him. Legier gets a glove on it, but unable to knock it down. And now the Ironmen have a runner at third with nobody out. And to say that there is a massive insurance run 90 feet away from home would be an understatement at this time. The Alpines bring the infield in. All 4 guys just on the edge of the grass here.
And a run, if you're the Ironman, you have to score. Just one of the biggest runs.
And that is high and away. And again, I know Keats hasn't had a great series, but I can't see a scenario where you give him something great to hit here.
No, I don't think Ryan Scott's going to throw him a cookie here and hope that he rolls over on one.
Full count pitch.
Competitive pitch.
Nobody out here. And that is high and away. 4 straight pitches up and away after getting to 2 strikes. And again, we mentioned it earlier, Scott has had the propensity to get a little bit wild. And again, he had Keats in a situation there, 0-2, and he misses high and away 4 straight pitches. And now the runners at the corners with nobody out.
And Clark just going to bring the infield in here and have a little chat about what they want to do.
Again, some defensive alignment here just in case the Ironmen maybe put a steal on. What they want to do. Do we want to do 2 in the middle, or are we going to just all sell out for home here again? Even to turn a double play here would make it a 3-1 game most likely, as long as it was not to the pitcher. And again, Obe awful liberal with the allowing the man visit to go on. You can hear a couple of chuckles out there. Obviously, Luke Obe, longtime umpire in the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League, so a lot of familiarity with these guys, especially guys like Adam Clark. So always fun to exchange a few pleasantries. So we're back in corners, nobody out. Ironman up 2-1. And there goes Keating, first pitch, and they're giving him second base with the infield in. So that takes away the double play. So again, the Alpines fully selling out to go to the plate here. So now they have runners at second and third with nobody out. Little something, little fly ball to the outfield is all you need. And that is hit in the air to left. That's going to be a long run for Dow, and he's going to get there, and a strong throw. Again, that was not going to be deep enough. Dow has a fantastic arm out in left field. So that'll be F7, not deep enough for the sac fly.
Good swing by Nick Leggett to get the ball in the air, obviously, but just not deep enough, like as you said, with Dow's arm and with.
Oh yeah, and they are going to give Watkin the free pass here. Not even going to let him get near the batter's box. I don't know why he's confirming with the dugout, because the pitcher already said to put him at first base. And you've seen in a lot of these situations, right? Adam Clark, the captain on the field, calling a lot of the shots here. So
yeah, he's kind of letting the infield know what's going on.
And again, a situation where now the middle can move back and you can turn a double play. And it is a tough one because Cook does run well down the first baseline. So they take the bat out of Watkins' hand and turn it over to Jake Cook. Base is loaded here with one out in the bottom of the fifth inning. 2-1 ball game. That is high for a ball. And again, this is a situation where if you're Ryan Scott, you absolutely have to throw strikes.
Yeah, it backs him into a kind of a corner here, and where he hasn't been particularly sharp this inning. I don't know if I would have issued the intentional walk, but.
And that is high for ball two.
And now Cookie can sit dead red. You know,
Absolutely.
A fastball's coming. He's not going 3-0 to you.
I think you're taking one. I think you're taking all the way here.
Yeah,
Again,
you need to make sure you get one here.
The way this inning has gone, right? He obviously, 4 straight balls to Keats. And that gets Nick to fly out. Here comes the 2-0. And that is right down Broadway for a strike. So now we're set. Another absolute nail biter of a game here at Ironman Field. It is 2-1 Ironman, bottom of the fifth inning. One out here. The bases are loaded with Jake Cook at the dish. 2 ball, 1 strike is the count. And that ball is bounded in the infield. And Galbraith unable to come up with it. Another defensive error by the Alpines leads to another run. And it is 3-1 as nobody is out on the play. And again, that ball just a little chopper out towards first. Galbraith was charging in. He gets a glove on it, unable to come up with it. That is the 3rd error of the ball game for the Alpines. And I believe that would be the 2nd error on Ryan Galbraith. And now Mawson jumps in here with the bases still loaded and 1 out. And that's a fastball for a strike. And again, I'll tell you what, it is awful hard to say Ryan Scott has done a bad job in this game when the guys have booted the ball around 3 times behind him.
No, he's done everything he needed to do. He's throwing strikes. He's getting soft contact.
There is a ball. That'll Galbraith will throw home for 1. So there he atones himself a little bit. So that is a fielder's choice, 3-2 on the putout. Mawson is retired. And the bases will remain loaded here with 2 out. And again, the Ironmen scored their 2nd run on an unforced error. They've scored again, right? I mean, they'd be out of this inning now.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Galbraith makes that play, throws home. So, I mean, you're taking a 1-1 ball game. Now it's 3-1. We've talked about extra runs. McKay trying to add some here. And that ball is hit high and hard into the gap. And it's down. It's going to go all the way to the wall. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. 3 runs score. Tyler McKay with a bases clearing double, and it's 6-1.
And Tibby, not waiting around, jumped on that first pitch fastball he got from Scott and was able to deposit it to give a couple insurance runs here for the Ironmen.
And again, when you give a team that hits as well as the Ironmen do, extra outs after extra outs after extra outs, eventually it is going to come back to bite you in the backside. And the biggest bite of all comes from Tyler McKay with a liner double into the gap, a 3-run score, and it is 6-1. And now the inning continues for Logan Walsh. And That is a slider in there for strike one. Walsh thought that was up. The biggest hit of this ball game. And there is a number into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Bose is going to send him from third. The throw to the plate. Legier up with it, and McKay will be thrown out by 10 feet at home. But the damage has been done. Tyler McKay with a bases-loaded double. The Ironmen score 4 in the inning, and we are going to go to the 6th. It is your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironmen 6, the Saint John Alpines 1.
Ironmen Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. If you are looking for a space to host an event, our upstairs area has seating for 40 for your grad party, baby shower, business meeting, or private party. What better way to host than in a Miramichi historic landmark with awesome food and drink? Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub.
So we go to the top of the 6th inning. The Ironmen, with a 4 spot in the bottom of the 5th, have extended their lead to 6-1. Again, the big hit, a 3-run double by Tyler McKay. And now Julio Hernandez and the Ironman staff will try to find themselves 6 more outs to punch their ticket across the Confederation Bridge and take on the Charlottetown Islanders in the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League Final.
Heck of an effort by Hayden Dow on that last play to try to get to that ball Tyler McKay.
Absolutely. An absolute laid out effort from Hayden Dow. Again, understanding the gravity of that situation, just unable to come up with the play. There's a swing and a miss, strike one. And the thing is, if you're the Alpines here, you can't get it all back with one swing. You got to do what you've been trying to do, which is, one at bat, one thing at a time, right? You cannot get 5 runs in one swing. And there's a swing and a miss, strike two, as 2 blazing fastballs from Hernandez. That is high for a ball. Hayden back down to the bullpen to warm up again for the Alpines. And there's a great slider. Dow with a great take. And again, Dig, we've said it all season. The Ironmen's ability to, through the middle and late innings, to stay calm and make teams pay for their mistakes. That is fouled back to keep the count at 2-2. Yeah. I mean, it's been also, we have seen this time and time and time again all summer long.
But you know what it is, Chris? It's no panic. The first time through the order, they feel out the pitcher. They kind of see what he's got going on. There isn't a whole lot. I would say a lot of that offense comes second and third time through when they have an idea what they want to do, and that's kind of usually when the bottom of the order.
They understand that they have 21 outs, and they are not afraid to use them. And now the script is flipped as they have to find a way to get 6. Hernandez with another 2-2. And that is inside. Again, another great take there by Dow, as that is another slider in the dirt at the feet. So Dow, who was down 0-2, has battled back to full here. So the full count pitch. And that is on just outside for ball 4. Jumped the gun a little bit on that one. Looked pretty good. But it is ball 4. And Blucher's going to come up here again. What a game, what a series he has had. Had a massive double his last time up over the head of center fielder Mike McKay. That is a slider in there for strike one. And again, like I said, if you're the Alpines here, move the line along. Base hits, getting runners into scoring position. It does appear that Connor Huckins is in the on-deck circle. Appears like he is going to hit for Ryan Galbraith in the 9 spot. That's in the dirt for a ball. One ball, one strike. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. 6-1 Ironman. That's a slider in there for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out here. Top of the 6th. And there's with a step off here. And big lively crowd here at Ironman Field tonight. Big lively crowd watching from home as well. Again, thank you to everybody out there watching. And that is a banner back up the middle. 1, 6, 3, double play for those of you scoring at home. And there's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. A bounder back to Hernandez and a great textbook 1-6-3 double play there. And Connor Huckins will pinch hit here for Ryan Galbraith.
Yeah, just good fundamental baseball being played by the Ironmen tonight. No panic, and Julio Hernandez picked that ball up, made sure the first out, and Keith's able to throw to Nick.
Yep, absolutely. So here's Huckins. 3 for 8 in the series. That is fastball for a strike. Again, going to try to get something going here for the top of the order. There's a bouncer to first. Leggett gets the big hop. Will flip to Hernandez, and that'll do it here in the top of the 6th. The double play and a ground out. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. It is your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironman 6, the Saint John Alpines 1 here in Game 5 of the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League Semi-Finals. Brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. What I will say, just to answer the guys in the chat, because I'm seeing it on Facebook and YouTube, I have absolutely no idea when the finals would start. That is 17 levels above my pay grade. What I can tell you is that Game 1 will be in Charlottetown. But I could not. My guess would be no earlier than Wednesday, more likely probably Thursday. Again, there are some considerations, like I know here, like obviously there's considerations for the field use. High school baseball is in full swing, so I'm sure that will, be a priority after the game if the score holds. It is not a priority right now because the score is still 6-1. The Alpines still have life. They go to the bullpen here. It's going to be Ennis Hayden. Ennis Hayden has 3 innings pitched in the series. He's 0-1 with a 4.67 ERA, and he's going to try to keep this right where it is as he faces 9-1-2. Hayden started Game 2 down in Saint John and was saddled with the loss. I would say your best bet, guys, would be if you're curious when the final would start, keep it locked to both the Ironman and Islanders Facebook page. Again, should this score hold, not putting the cart before the horse here.
No, exactly. We got some outs to count.
That's right. We have seen stranger things happen here this summer.
Yeah, no, we know better than to say anything before this.
Yes, we do. Just people in the chat are getting spun up. Not me. That ball is in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. And that's in there for strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes here is the count. Again, the Ironmen with 9-1-2 looking for some insurance here, taking everything they can get. And that is a ball. Looking ahead for the Alpines, it'll be the top of their order in the 7th. We will see if Julio... You did say if, Nora. That's right. You did say if. Everything's ifs. There's a banner down to first. And Huckins into the game defensively after pinch hitting for Galbraith makes that play. And it's out number 1. Everything is hypothetical. The only thing we know for sure is there's 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning here. The Ironman leads 6-1. Ironman 6 runs on 7 hits. The Alpines 1 run on 7 hits and a big 3 in the error column. And they have all been crucial. And an error that allowed 1 run to turn into 2 back in the 3rd. And that is in there for a strike. And again, that error in the 5th. I mean, I don't think they score 4 runs if that's a made play. One of those 2.
No, definitely not.
And that is hit down the left field or right field line, and that is going to scoot in, and that's going to get by the right fielder. Assuming that's Ryan Scott out there, still having problems with it down in the Ironman bullpen, and Mike McKay's going to go all the way to 3rd. So again, Mike slices that one. That's 3 balls Mike has taken the other way now tonight. The liner to second, the one back up the box. He's really hitting the ball the other way with authority here tonight.
Yeah, no, staying on fastballs. Obviously, Hayden and Scott bringing it a little bit, so able to stay on that fastball a little longer and shoot it. And the minute it got by Scott, you knew Mike was going to end up on 3rd base.
There you go. So now the insurance that the Ironmen looking to add on here. And again, it appears that McKay's just been given a triple. No error on the play. I know Scott kind of struggled to let the ball get by him down there, but it has been scored a triple downstairs. And that is in the dirt, ball 2. And again, Alpine's here in run prevention mode as the infield is all the way in. No more runs allowed is the motto here. That is a healthy hack from Chris at a 2-0 fastball. Fouls that away. Runs the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. And that is fouled back. Evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Ironman leads 6-1. Looking for some insurance. Alpine's all in around the infield. Outfield pretty straight up. Scott kind of playing around to pull. Big gap in right center. And there is a pitch, and we're going to get a check. And no, says third base umpire Craig Hope. Generates some giggles down the line here. Not sure what's funny. Please pass it on up there if you know. Always enjoy a good joke. Full count pitch. And that is hit in the air, and that's going to be back of short. Shallow left. Dow's going to make that play. And McKay bluffs it. And we'll go back to 3rd. So again, not deep enough for a sac fly, so that'll be the 2nd out of the inning. And the inning will continue here for Nick Leggett.
Nick 0 for 3 in the night. Strikeout, popped out to the 3rd baseman and flew out to Dow. Ball that wasn't deep enough to score Mike last time. So looking to get a base hit and an RBI on the board here. Cash another insurance run for the Ironmen.
So here's Nick now with 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. And that is foul back.
Good cut.
Here comes the 0-1 from Hayden. And that is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike here. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. The Ironman leads 6-1. Mike McKay over at third after a triple. 1 out triple. There's a mighty swing by Leggett. That'll run the count now to 1-2 as Hayden tries to strand McKay over at third. Keep this a 5-run game. That is down for a ball. Two balls, 2 strikes here. The 2-2 from Hayden. That is down for a ball. That'll run it full. So we're going to get another full count pitch here. Full count, 2 out, bottom of the 6th. Hayden's got the one he wants. And there's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Hayden able to work around the triple. So here we go, folks. Last kick at the can for the Alpines as we go to the 7th. 3 outs away from a date with the Islanders. As after 6 complete here at Ironman Field, it is your Chatham Miramichi on Ironman 6. Saint John Alpines 1 as Julio Hernandez is coming back out to finish what he started.
Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Our beautiful back patio is open and dogs are welcome. We even have a special O'Don's Irish Pup menu for your furry friend. Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub.
So we go to the top of the 7th inning here from Ironman Field. It is 6-1, top of the order, due up here for the Alpines. And again, Jake, much like we said in the 6th inning, they can't score 5 runs on 1 hit. They got to chip away here again. They have shown, they showed here in Game 3 that they do have the ability to hit Julio Hernandez. They need to string a few together here and have some of these guys in the middle of their order try to do some damage and stay alive here. It's last kick at the can.
Yeah, no, you got 3 outs for the rest of your season if you're the Alpines. So there was probably a little bit of a talk in the dugout saying, hey, guys, let's make sure he throws us a strike. Go up there with a mentality that I just got to get on base any way I know how here.
Yep.
Walk, hit by pitch, beat everything, run everything out.
So here's Connor Hill. And there's a big swing at a slider for strike 1.
Not taken, okay.
As Hernandez left that one up.
Hill 0 for 2 and a hit by pitch in the night.
That's high for a ball. Again, the Ironman did have Zach Goss warming up an inning or so ago, just in case Hernandez runs into trouble here. The 1-1. And there's a slider, swing and a miss, strike 2. And I would venture to say Hernandez has thrown more than 50% of his pitches have been sliders tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I would say he's gone to the fastball very little, and the put-away pitch has been back to the slider.
Yeah. Here comes the 1-2. That's in the dirt. Jeff wears that one in the midsection. You could hear a bit of a grunt. The 2-2. That one's popped up. Look out. little exchange there between home plate umpire and Hernandez. Again, Obey, who bounded one through his legs there earlier. And Hernandez said, "It's okay, throw it." Obey takes her pretty much all the way out. We're going to get another 2-2 here. Hernandez says the one he wants. That one is outside. A great take there by Hill. He thought about it, but then let that slider tail away. So a full count pitch. Leadoff man getting on, key for the Alpines here. Hernandez trying to prevent it. Has the one he wants. Rocks and fires. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove. And that's out number 1 here in the 7th. High school, Nora, the high school season is picking up here. I don't know what the schedule looks like, but I know we are into high school baseball season.
Yeah, zones and regionals, I believe.
Zones and regionals are this weekend or next weekend?
Next weekend. And I think Charlottetown would also be sharing the field with the college, Holland College.
Yes, that's
there.
right. College League, that's right. And there's a foul ball back from Adam Clark. How's Clark been in the game so far, Dig?
Clark 1 for 3, did score the only Alpines run.
Way back in the first inning. Alpines have had 7 hits, have only managed to get 1 across the plate. And there's a grounder to second. Molson up with it, and he's not going to make that play. Keeps it in front of him, and that'll be an error. Hard hit ball, and the Alpines have a runner on. And again, we have said that's what they got to do. They got these guys coming up. I mean, they got the hottest man on the planet at the plate here in Ryan Scott.
Yeah, 3 for 3 on the night, 3 singles.
And he is 9 for 16 in this series. And trying to get himself off the hook here, as he would be I'm going to say a hard luck loser. He pitched quite well in this ball game through 5 really good innings. Just unfortunately had some key situations where defense let him down. And then obviously that big bases clearing double by Tyler McKay. That is high for a ball, 2-0. 2-0 here. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Little ground ball. And there is a foul ball. Two balls, 1 strike here, 1 out. Ironman leads 6-1. Runner over at first is Adam Clark. Yes, UPEI be playing there as well. That's right. And that's a slider right on the front door there for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Scott. I don't think Scott's been retired since like the first inning of game 3.
That probably checks it.
Yep.
No, he has been.
And that is hit into left field, and that is going to land in front of Jake Cook. So a base hit
4 for
for
4.
Ryan Scott. He is 4 for 4. What a ball game for him. And again, the Alpines still have life here, as now they have 2 on with 1 out. And Ennis Hayden coming to the dish. Again, you cannot get 5 back with 1 swing, but Ennis Hayden has more than the ability to give them 3, as he did off of Julio Hernandez in game 1.
And Hayden hit the ball extremely hard his last at-bat.
Yep.
Logan Walsh made a really nice play.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Big league play. If you're scoring at home, you should have a star next to it. That great play that he made. First pitch was down for a ball, so 1-0. And that is on the – wow. That is a great pitch called a ball. Hernandez not a big fan of that call. That looked very good, but it's 2-0. And that is hit hard towards third, and that is foul. Says home or third base umpire Craig Hope.
Good play by Logan Walsh to even get a little bit of
I
lever
know.
on that ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, leave no doubt, right? He would have knocked that down. Hernandez was coming over to cover third. Again, Adam Clark runs very, very, very well, so I don't know if they would have had a play there, but 2 balls, 1 strike here to Hayden. Alpines have runners at first and second. They are down 5 runs, have 2 outs to play with. And that is hit hard back up the middle. 6! Oh, no, they won't get any! That had the potential to be a 6-4-3 game-ending, series-ending double play, but that will be an error on the shortstop, Chris Keating, and now the bases are loaded. So the Ironmen have made now 2 errors here in the inning, and that will get Terry Leggett out of the dugout for a little bit of settle down talk here. Charlie Mawson and Chris Keating, who have been rock solid in this series defensively, have both made errors here in this inning. Now, again, the Alpines have done exactly what we said they needed to do. Get some guys on, make some things happen. They have the bases loaded here with 1 out, and they still have some big bangers here. And I'll tell you what, just to keep an eye on this, Devin Thomas is now standing in the on-deck circle. He would pinch hit for Matt Beach. Again, Mark Legier to hit here first. Devin Thomas, I do not believe, has had an at-bat in the series.
No, I think you're right. I don't think he has an at-bat in the series. So
It does not on the sheet that I have in front of me. But Mark Legier, the hitter here first. High dramatics here at Ironman Field as the Alpines have the bases loaded. And that is a broken back grounder. That will be a tough play. But Logan Walsh with another great play. Goes to his left, makes a spinning throw right on the mark to Nick Leggett. A run will score, but that will be the second out of the inning. And the Alpines will have runners at, so that is huge because with Devin Thomas coming off the bench, the tying run is still at this point in the on-deck circle. So here is Devin Thomas making his first appearance of the series, pinch hitting for all-star center fielder Matt Beach. And that is a healthy hack from Thomas there. Thomas will forever be cemented in Ironman legend. The home run he hit here in the semifinals in the 2019 Nationals, I remember it like it was yesterday.
after not being able to get the bunt down a couple times, if I remember correctly.
Failed to get the bunt down twice and hit a yak here in not-so-friendly circumstances tonight. And that's a slider for strike two. The Alpines are down to their final strike. Julio Hernandez has battled through all kinds of trouble in this ball game. Here comes the 0-2. That is high and away for a ball as he had a little extra on that one. Again, Thomas has not seen an at-bat in the series, seeing Hernandez in this series for the first time. 1-2, 2 out. Here comes the pitch. There's a foul ball down the first base line. A lively crowd here at Ironman Field. Almost 300 people, over 300 people watching across the Ironman socials. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Hernandez has the one he wants. Here it comes. And that is high for a ball. A little bit extra giddy up on those. Hernandez kind of telling himself he's got to be tired again. He pitched Friday night. Has thrown a lot of pitches here tonight, trying to will his team into the finals. The 2-2. Pack your bags. We're going on a trip to the island. Your Chatham Miramichi Hot Ironmen win the game 6-2. They win the series 4-1. And they have themselves a date with the 2-time defending senior baseball champion Charlottetown Islanders in a best-of-7 final. What a game we were treated to here tonight. Again, Dig, we've said it. I'm sick of saying it at this point. The Ironmen, middle innings and on, you said it so eloquently, right? They feel it out early. They make you throw pitches. They make you throw pitches. And then they make you make mistakes. They take advantage of those mistakes. Another come from behind victory here. What else can you say?
Yeah, no, everything went right. You know what I mean? For the Ironmen, the bounces went right. Last 2 games here got a little bit hairy in the top of the 7th, but the Ironmen able to close it out. A really great job by Julio Hernandez. 3 appearances, a complete game here. And like you said, off to the island we go.
Off to the island we go indeed. We are hearing that game 1 will be in Charlottetown on Thursday night, which likely means a Friday or a Saturday game 2 here. Keep it locked to the socials. Head over to the Ironman Facebook page. We will have the schedule posted as soon as it is available. And of course, we will have the home games live here on O'Donaghues Irish Pub, Ironman Baseball Live, across Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We want to thank you so much for everybody who turned up. Thank you for supporting the stream. And for the first time since we have had the stream, we will have finals baseball across the Ironman socials. The final score here in Game 5, the Ironmen win 6-2. They take the series 4-1, and they will face the Charlottetown Islanders in the best-of-7 championship series. On behalf of the best color man in the business, Jake Dignam, I am, of course, Chris Jardine, voice of your Chatham Miramichi Ironman. Thank you so much to O'Donaghues Irish Pub for supporting the stream. Take care and enjoy the night. We'll see you in the finals.